Wipe the upper and lower bearing blocks if debris from previous tests is present. Also, wipe the retaining rings clean if they are to be used. Inadvertently applying a load to a retaining ring that has a piece of concrete under it will damage the retaining ring by either warping or gouging it. Make sure the load reading is 0. Place the cylinder in the retaining rings with the molded end down for best alignment. The finished end of the cylinder should be loaded by the upper spherically seated bearing block. Make sure the cylinder is centered in the retaining rings. Align the cylinder in the machine using the upper bearing block. Tilt the upper bearing block so it's parallel to the end of the specimen. When using unbonded caps, apply not more than 10% of the anticipated load, which for a typical cylinder that's expected to have a strength of 4,000 psi would not be more than 11,000 pounds. With the load either paused or slowed to a standard metered rate, check to make sure the alignment of the cylinder in the machine is not out of perpendicular by more than 5/10 degrees. If a modified square is used that's 6 inches long, a 1/16 inch drill bit is convenient to use for this check. The cylinder can be wrapped with fabric to help retain debris after cylinder failure. Close the safety door. Load the cylinder continuously without shock at a metered rate of 35 plus or minus 7 psi per second. A higher rate of loading is allowed during the first half of the anticipated failure load. Do not change the rate of loading once the metered rate has been established. Load the cylinder to failure. If the cylinder fractures slightly, causing the readout to indicate failure, do not automatically stop the test until you are confident the cylinder has completely failed. Record the peak load reading indicated by the machine. The peak load for this cylinder was 126,470 pounds. Note the type of fracture in the cylinder. For Wisconsin DOT projects, the machine is required to automatically record 4 items: the date, time, peak load, and rate of loading. If the machine outputs a graph showing load versus duration of time, the rate of loading will have to be calculated. You now have 2 diameter measurements and the peak load at the time of failure. Calculate the compressive strength and cross-sectional area using the equations on the T22 worksheet located at the end of Topic C in your textbook.